Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Dead Cells. You may notice that we have 6,000 gold again. I just went and did a partial run and died so that we could have full gold for the start of our run here. And also put a little bit more toward unlocking the ability to carry over more gold per death. And this is interesting, we just got our first alchemic carbine. I actually like this weapon quite a bit. So we might want to go red this time. This is what it does. It shoots a poison. It's actually fairly powerful, and it leaves a lot of poison just kind of like in the air all over the place, which is really helpful against certain kinds of enemies. In particular, like small flying enemies will die to the cloud passively without you having to actually target them, which is super cool. So I'm thinking, I was kind of hoping that we'd be able to do a red run anyway. This is a good sign, I think. Because I think mostly what happened in the last run is that we just didn't have the damage to get through the boss. The boss has a lot of health now. You know what? Sure. Let's go for a slightly better version of this thing. The final boss has a ton of health. Let's see, do we get anything from this little area? Malaise, they're all infected. Yeah. Okay, no. There's no stuff of value in this particular story room. Yeah, so I'd like to go into the final battle with more damage. In particular, it's hard to use a turret on the two-cell version of the Hand of the King, because he kills them instantly. They don't have enough health to survive a single contact. Show me melee weapons? Ooh, boy. I would think about a ++ weapon of almost any kind, but only almost any kind. I really don't like the Nutcracker. It's too slow of a weapon given the way the game's combat works, and it doesn't do enough damage for how slow it is, frankly. Like, in order to get away with being that slow, it would have to be really good. So I also do want to apologize, I guess, before we get to in here. I do want to apologize in advance for if I sound stuffy or if I sniffle a little bit during the video. I'm going to do my best to try to keep that stuff under control. Ooh, I think we do want to take this over the Balanced Blade. Victims burn, and it's a lot more base DPS. My allergies are going nuts today. It seems like it's just about autumn time. My whole sinus cavity feels. Ooh. An oiled sword is interesting. I do like the oiled sword quite a bit, even though it doesn't do as much damage. Because, man, if you can just get a little bit of fire going. We'll stick with these gauntlets for now, I think. They really are quite a bit more damage. If it was an oiled sword that had some pluses on it or something, I might make that swap. Come on, show me the door to the next area. Nope, that's not it. And where is the sewer entrance? How are the sewers so high up? This does not bode well for the rest of this dungeon. They better hope that, the entrance to the sewers never breaks. Alright, we should try to do this every run. If we're going to come through here, like, this is just free money. Not a lot of money, but it's right here. Okay. So yeah, we're closer and closer to being able to carry over 10k when we die, which is nice. It's nice to have more money to start with. I don't think we want to do any reforges yet. We're too unlikely to replace these items. And I guess I want to talk about this a little bit. So a couple of people have left comments saying that maybe it's not worth taking the extra life here, that we might be better off taking an actual offensive ability to make it so that we are not as likely to die. You know, instead of responding to the damage I will take with a free life, why don't we just take something that prevents the damage in the first place through making us better at killing? I'm much more comfortable taking the free life, but I think that line of reasoning is sound, and we're gonna go for sadism right now. We have a poison thing, we have a burning thing, and if we're gonna do a red build, there's no red build that doesn't take sadism. I can't imagine. Like, it's a free damage skill that actually works on bosses, which is unusual. Most of them are like only when there's multiple enemies around, or only after you've killed something. You know, the ones that help you on bosses are super valuable, in my opinion. And I guess this might be a good time to talk about a thing that I was thinking about last night after doing yesterday's Dead Cells run. And obviously we're just going to focus on red here. And that is the way I was talking about the ice bow. Ooh. Le croissant. Well, we'll leave this here, right next to this portal. And we're going to actually fight stuff in here as usual, which is part of what makes this a good time to talk about stuff, because you guys already know all about me fighting stuff in the sewer. I will say, though, before I get into this other topic, that we're probably not going to go to the graveyard this run, just because I should mix it up a little bit. I've been taking exactly the same path over and over again, and a lot of it's because I just really want to unlock the shovel. And I think this is a great weapon. By the way, the alchemic carbine. But there's also other stuff yet to be unlocked, right? I think we can just recycle this. So the ice bow. To be clear, I think the ice bow is very good. I started last run really talking it up. Would you please turn around? I can't convince him to aim down if you're this close. There we go. Alright, well, apparently I can just get the cloud on it. That'll work. Feels a little cheesy, I guess. I started last run by talking up the ice bow a lot. I was like, wow, it turns out this thing's really great. And then, by the end of the run, I was considerably more negative. And obviously, I know what I meant. But I realized that I wasn't really making myself clear. Like, when I was saying that, yeah, well, you know what, is the ice bow really doing anything that we can't do with the frost shock, or the ice shard, I think it's called now? No, probably not, right? Like, it's good, but it's not uniquely good. And I want to be clear that I'm not saying that it's not uniquely good as some kind of slam against it. I'm not saying, oh, you know what, the ice bow's not really that good, and we won't really take it in the future because of these things. What I was doing is I'm trying to recontextualize my initial impression. I have learned over many years of inhabiting my particular brain, although I think this is probably an all human brains type of problem, that my initial reactions are, how do I want to put this? Not to be trusted. It's not that your initial emotional reaction to a thing is necessarily wrong. It's just that it's not consistently going to be right or wrong. We have a lot of, we get a lot of feelings about things on first impression as human beings. It's just kind of like how we go. You know, the judging a book by its cover problem. That sucked, by the way. The fact that the little knockback effect from the elite becoming active made it impossible for us to dodge his projectile is really crappy. Yeah, this is certainly better than a prisoner's collar. And I'm not going to try to... there's a lot of, I guess, sort of popular wisdom is that, you know, you should... There are things about your intuition that are special. You should listen to that voice inside yourself. And I'm not saying that you should automatically assume that the voice inside yourself is wrong, because that's not the case. The unconscious parts of the human brain are very good at noticing things that the conscious parts miss. But they're also into things like, the back of that chair kind of looks like a face. You know what I'm talking about? I'm just saying, regardless of what your initial reaction of a thing is, if you love it, or if you are disgusted by it, or if you find it upsetting, you owe it to yourself to step back out of that reaction and reassess the thing as objectively as you can. Obviously, human beings are incapable of real, perfect objectivity, in kind of the same way that a computer is incapable of real randomness. There are elements at play that make perfection in these fields impossible. Although quantum computing, whatever, listen, that's not really what I'm here to talk about. My point is, just, after you have thought a thing, after you have had your initial reaction to a thing, note your reaction, note what might be valuable in it, note what it says about you, and then try to ignore it for a little while, and instead, like, think critically. Note your reaction, but then temporarily discard your reaction and have a response instead about things. And that's what I was trying to do with the ice bow, and why I suddenly seemed to be negative on it. I was like, okay, hold on a second. Am I just like, this thing is cool and I like it, or am I actually thinking that this is great? And I think the answer is that it is actually very, very good. But so I just wanted to clarify, because I think if you just listened to the last half of that last run, it would be pretty easy to come away with the idea that I thought that item was not good. And also, that's just, I think, just a good general life principle there. SB laying down that important life knowledge, because obviously I am so wise and we should all listen to me, right? Okay, so now that we're done talking about that, ooh, hey, that blueprint again. This time we're actually going to get out of here with it. Now that we're done with that, let's talk about what's actually happening in the run here a little bit. I really, really like this alchemical pistol. Okay, managed to not take any damage there. I was actually very worried. I'm really happy to see one. I do wish that it was a little bit higher quality, but hopefully we'll find a higher quality one. So, like, the initial impact damage is fine, but you can see the poison damage is really significant and scales very well with your stats. That is a double plus whip. Let's go check that out, see exactly what modifiers are on it. I don't know that we necessarily want to keep a whip forever, but it's very likely to replace our gauntlets. The DPS is actually really low, though. And the thing is, we can't really afford to upgrade every double plus item. I'm actually going to trash this. Maybe that was wrong, but I just... It's tough. The electric whip is not, I think, a great item, and if we're going red, we really want things that are going to feed into or take advantage of our sadist ability a little bit more. Ooh, I very nearly got it. I'm kind of surprised I didn't take damage from that jump. I thought we got over there late enough. And as long as the enemies stand in the cloud, they keep gaining stacks of the poison, and... oh, man. I really, really like this weapon. Ooh. Should we do this? You know what? I think we're in a place where we can do this. We can fight from a distance with our pistol and be pretty safe. I don't think that we should keep taking these forever, and I don't think we're going to take that. That was good. That was like 2,500 gold and stat point there. I also really like all the animations there are for firing the crossbow, or the alchemic pistol. Get some trick shot stuff behind the head like that is good. That right there, you can tell the animator experienced some joy while making this thing, which I do always like to see evidence of. All right, so we're just gonna play really carefully for a minute here. There we go, with that arc. One of the big upsides of a purple build is that it is usually a lot safer to do curses with a purple build, because you're probably fighting from a distance. We do have this stun grenade, though. Like, we have grenades. Well, that sucks. That I completely managed to screw that up. We're definitely going to want to get Fireworks Technician with this build. You can see the poison killed that bat as soon as he moved into the cloud. Really, really useful. And that works on pretty much all of those little bat-type enemies, because they all have, like 1 health or something. That guy's gonna die by jumping into the cloud as well. This is just a cool weapon. And it's neat to have a good, a decently scaling ranged weapon in a red build. Especially one that plays into Sadist so well. Also, while I don't necessarily think that the Hayabusa gauntlets are great weapons, it is fun to just, like, get in there and mash. I do love... It makes the game feel a little bit more like a beat-em-up, and I have been jonesing for a good beat-em-up recently. Apparently, Streets of Rage 4 got announced the other day, which is... Man, I love those Streets of Rage games. So I'm... Oh, boy. The wind just slammed the bedroom door. So we have a... I like to have all the windows in the house open to get a nice cross breeze, but apparently I had forgotten to put something in front of the bedroom door, and that scared the actual entire soul right out of me. I saw it leave my body. So that was bad. That was... I need a second here to calm down. What the heck was I saying? I was saying Streets of Rage. Streets of Rage is probably my favorite series of beat-em-up games. Streets of Rage Remake is awesome. If you are not aware of that fan project. and you liked those games, look that up, because it's real cool. So I have high hopes, but this is one of those things where, like, I feel like it would be so hard to do it right and so easy to do it wrong that I'm trying to be a little guarded about it. I'm trying to be sensible. Just like, you have reasonable, manage expectations. That's the term I want. I'm trying to manage my expectations a little bit. Ooh. Okay, hold on a second. We want to be a red build that has a shield. A red scaling shield. That's a thing to think about. Let's kill some more enemies here. Okay. Attacking just after a parry inflicts tons of extra damage. Poisons enemies that are blocked with a parry. Oh, man. I really do like the Assault Shield, too. In case I have not been clear about the Assault Shield, it does this thing, which is awesome. You can get a lot of cool mobility tricks. You can turn around in the air really easily with it and stuff. But also, I really like the Alchemic Carbine a lot. But, like, what if we did this, though? Because the shield has a melee. If you hit enemies with it while you're charging, it does do damage. Yeah, okay, this is what we're doing. This might be a real bad idea. They're going to give me a red scaling shield. Like, we could do that. Obviously, it does more damage if you get a parry. Also, we could be parrying ranged attacks, I suppose. Like that. Just like, get behind them and gently push them. Okay, 11:25. I guess I should have checked the teleporters and made sure that we had actually explored the whole level. Ah, whatever. Too late to worry about it now. Okay, so we're actually going to be able to get this time. And then, what next? We're probably not going to take Spite, because we're not going to get any scaling on it. Why don't we keep unlocking items? Is there anything else? There's another level of gold reserves. Pack up to 15,000. 400 is a lot of cells, though. Why don't we unlock, like, Toxic Cloud? I think Toxic Cloud's pretty good. Let's make that our next thing. Do we want to reforge the shield at all? Attacking just after a parry inflicts 300% damage is actually not that good with our current build. And we don't really need to poison enemies blocked with a parry. Why don't we... victims freeze other enemies for 1.8 seconds is okay, I guess. Probably don't want to bother doing upgrades on these items, because we're probably just going to... You know, we could do another reforge or two. I guess this is okay. It launches a grenade. I do like that launches a grenade thing quite a bit. And let's get Fireworks Technician. These items are both grenades, right? Yeah, stun grenade and fire grenade. Okay. Let's keep moving forward. I have good feelings about this build. It's a little silly, but nothing wrong with that. Listen, if you're not comfortable being a little silly in your life, you're going to miss out on a lot of opportunities to have a lot of fun. I've been thinking about that a lot lately. Basically, I'm over here trying to become a professional entertainer, and so I've been trying to listen to the advice of people who I think are very entertaining. And one thing that I've heard more than once, especially from people who are trying to do this thing at a professional level, or rather people who are doing this thing at a professional level on the internet, is that you just have to, like... Why is there just a random croissant here? Also, we didn't go back and get the other croissant. I'm going to take this. That's a thing I definitely should have done. We had a free croissant laying on the ground in the last area. You just have to get rid of that instinct to not make a fool of yourself. That has to go away. Okay, fortunately, this enemy type is actually just plain not dangerous. I should probably be using my shield a little bit. We're definitely not taking a green shield. And so, like, being willing to be silly, but not just to do something silly, to be silly, to maybe make yourself a target of ridicule, is something I have a lot of trouble with. It does not come naturally to me. But I think maybe I need to get over that. Well, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not super excited about any of these. A Fire Grenade 4+ is pretty cool. You know what? It does already have 15% damage reduction on it. Yeah, okay, let's replace this. These things both have arrows stuck in enemies come back, which is not actually useful, so we're kind of wasting a trait slot on both of them, but we'll figure it out. Okay, if this is a cursed chest, I think I don't want to take it. Yeah. It's just it's a little too dangerous, probably. I'm trying not to have this run end prematurely, and I don't feel secure enough in our build. But look at how much damage you end up with on that poison. Also, that was nice. If every one of those mushroom dudes could be underneath a collapsible floor, that would be cool. Hold on. Oh, the push part of the shield made the parry not work because it knocked him out of melee range. Okay, so these grenades still have a fairly long cooldown, even with the thing, fireworks technician. And see, this is kind of what I was thinking about when I said I'm not sure that it's safe for us to take a curse here. I hate those mushroom guys. I don't know, this is a pretty fun build. Actually, I'm totally digging it. I don't think I actually hit him with the shield there. I think I rolled through him all the way before I got it. Yeah, the overlapping poison clouds are really powerful. Okay, we got to parry that time. I wonder how much time I have to take advantage of that. Oh. I think I got hit by his bite there. I pushed him back, but the shield effect ended right before the bite hit. I wonder how much time you have, though, I was saying, to take advantage of the extra damage from a parry effect on this shield. Like, is it even going to work with the alchemical pistol, or does it... It might take too long for the pistol shot to go off, frankly. And also, I'm betting that the bonus damage will only apply to the initial projectile impact and not the poison, so it's probably not worth using anyway. Not worth worrying about. We probably won't keep this shield forever. This is a temporary situation. It does let me do that, which is cool. Ow. Well, I say ow, but I probably took a total of 10 damage there. Yeah, being able to jump swap bats out of the air and do that kind of thing, that's pretty fun. It's just a good game. Well, okay. I did still actually hit the mushroom guy. See, that it saved me from falling on the spikes there, which I'm pretty sure I would have done without the shield charge. Those poor little dudes just, like, come into existence directly on top of a big fire in a poison cloud. Never stand a chance. Hell yeah, shield charge! This build is actually great. I want to take back everything I said about this being silly. Or rather, it is, you know what? It's probably that it's silly and that's why it's great. Awesome. It's good every single time. You know, I had it in my head that this might be a run where we tried to get a time door, the time door after the Conjunctivius. That ain't happening. You know what the problem is? We still just need too many cells. I don't really want to play super quickly because we need the cells. All this beautiful damage over time. I was kind of hoping that that was going to like hit this pipe and explode. It was a solid plan. I just don't have a good sense of my own strength, or maybe more appropriately, lack of strength. Can't quite get those projectiles as far as I'm expecting. What do I want? I probably want a real melee weapon at some point. You know what? An oiled sword would actually be super good for capping out this build, especially one that deals bonus damage to a burning target like that. If that had had a plus or 2 on it, I probably would have bought it right there and just replaced the shield. Because it'll go well with the fire grenade. We're probably always going to want to have a fire grenade on us. This one doesn't have another area, so let's just keep moving. One of those has a secret wall at the end, and the other one doesn't. Okay. Now, I'm to be honest with you, I do not know if this build is going to be any good at all for fighting Conjunctivius. It might not be. Our damage is going to be good, though. Also, I do love the little biter worms. First of all, look at them. They're adorable. Secondly, I know this isn't like the greatest thing, but they make a very adorable sound when they die as well. My biter worms are much, much better than the enemy biter worms. So we gotta make sure that we go down and to the left all the way in that area, because we know there's a scroll over there, but what's up here first? Is this the way out, maybe? I don't know. Well, let's deal with Mushroom Dude, and then we'll come back after that. I don't know why I'm shield charging like it's gonna kill him. It does some damage. It is effectively a melee attack, but it's not good enough damage to use it as an actual attack. It's just for things like dealing with bats, and every once in a while you'll do your big ranged attack and it'll leave an enemy with like 4 health or something. It's for those kinds of situations. Okay, it would be cool to find a baguette somewhere. I almost said radish. I think I left that, I left us in vegetable mode for too long, and now radish is just going to be synonymous with happiness for me. Formed a powerful association. Oh. Okay. Oh. That probably would actually have hit me. Got a big fire for his worms to drop into. Okay. I don't know what the heck. Our worms are desperately chomping at something. I don't even know what. There's nothing alive over here. Probably we should come at this one from above. It's kind of mashing all of my buttons. I'm not saying that strategy is a bad thing. I'm saying that it's unnecessary. Our damage feels really good. Okay, so this will be the actual exit then, right? I think we're already too late to get any of the time doors beyond this point, so we may as well be thorough here. See if we can't, Oh, that was a bad... I fell long enough. I fell a long enough distance to get stunned there. The bad place to get stunned. And see, the thing is, I didn't do a down stomp because, like, I was like, oh, well, that could be unsafe. What if there are spikes? And then the other thing happened. Let's just get off this platform. Ha! See that? And this. Alright, that part didn't work so well. Turns out not to be necessary. So what life has taught me is that there are times that you want to go back for your handbag, and times that you don't, and that there is no way to tell the difference between those two things. I feel like someone tried to teach me this lesson at some point in the past, and I just didn't listen. Okay, extra croissant. I'll take that. Oh, where all these monsters are getting these delicious, flaky bread products. Okay, there's something going on up here. A cluster grenade. Well, that does look like a good amount of damage. The thing is, we currently have 25% damage reduction, and I kind of want to keep that. That said, right, the whole thing we're doing here is less about responding to damage we're taking and instead preventing the damage entirely. And the cluster bomb does do a lot of damage. Okay, let's drop our weaker protection grenade. I suspect that learning to actually be successful at higher difficulties is a lot about figuring out exactly how to min-max that. And how do you get the maximum amount of combined punch from both your offensive and defensive capabilities? Try not to just blindly fall great distances. Oh, speaking of that thing I think I shouldn't do, I've done it immediately. In my defense, that was a kind of blind fall that's hard to deal with, and once you've fallen a certain distance, you can no longer jump. So you can't just, like, air brake. No, I don't care about this. We're getting ourselves the old-fashioned way, by stealing them from living creatures. I mean, I say living creatures. Some of those dudes are skeletons. That's probably not quite what the word living is usually used to mean. It's like there's an area down here to the left that we didn't clear out. So this is what this thing does. So, it's a lot of damage. Man, that trap that does double damage to poisoned enemies, and then also when you throw it, poisons all the enemies around it, is pretty good. There's a pretty good combination of traits. Alright, here we go. So we have all of our flask charges. We have some pretty good items. And actually, having a shield is nice for Conjunctivius, because it makes it easier to deal with his poison shots. This is not a bad build for the place in the game where we are. Also, I'm gonna unlock this, actually. I think the swarm grenade is pretty cool. Keep pouring stuff into Toxic Cloud. We're not going to take one right now, but that's pretty cool. Actually, maybe I should have taken that over our cluster grenade. The cluster grenade's very good, but this one doesn't have a plus on it, so I don't know. Maybe that would have been worthwhile. Alright, what's a good general purpose mutation that we could take here? So, like, I know we've been very focused on offense here, but Dead Inside is a lot of extra health over the course of the run. Because it's increasing the amount of health you're healing from all of your food and health flasks as well. I also think Disengagement is potentially pretty good. I think Dead Inside ends up being just such a huge amount of health over the course of the run that we shouldn't ignore it. Even though it's not an offensive thing. But yeah, I think getting your offense set up early is probably more important than I was giving it credit for. Alright, buddy, let's do this. I gotta remember I can parry that, his charge there. Oh, well, I tried. I tried to do it there. It did not work. Alright, please. There we go. I would swear to you that I was rolling when that happened there, when I got hit by that. Cruelly struck down in my prime. The way we do damage here should be pretty good for bringing the tentacles down in like a pretty even way. We're just kind of putting up clouds of damage and letting the enemies walk into them. I mean, this is sort of working. Right, I gotta parry it. Yeah, I mean, the damage is pretty good, right? Ugh. Alright, do not forget about the one that's doing the charging. Important to not be rolling when he starts coming across. Okay, we got some pretty good damage on most of the tentacles there, I think. Let's keep generating poison clouds. I've spent so much time developing that dodge instinct. It's tough for me to parry. Tough for me to parry things. I think I've talked about that before. Stop dodging me, you coward! Stop being good at dead cells. I'm not good at dead cells, and you're not allowed to be either. It's unfair. The matchmaker is broken. Why am I getting paired with people like this? Okay, that was a little close. I think the game was making up for something there. I think we got a very generous interpretation of events on that one. Okay, well, I got completely stuck on the tentacles apparently and couldn't roll out. This is not the best that this fight has ever been. Okay, now is when I drink. I'm feeling a little bit less sanguine about this run than I was just a couple minutes ago. Poison cloud up. There we go. Oh, ow. Bad. Well, he rolled over right on top of us to do that. Okay, well, I caught him with some of his poison on that one. Okay. Ah, annoying. One more big green middle finger from Conjunctivius for the road. Okay, well, we got there. Not the cleanest version of that fight ever. Why is all the stuff appearing up here? Fire Blast 3L. Burns enemies and the ground nearby. Shoots an arrow upwards. Swarm of biting worms crawls out of your victims. I actually really like Fire Blast. Let me show you what this looks like. Yeah! This is a pretty good item. Do we want to swap out the shield? We're going to be swapping out the shield at some point, but I think Fire Blast... it doesn't add enough. I think we're going to stick with the shield for now. Keep this extremely weird build rolling a little while longer. And like I said, we've done the graveyard a bunch. We probably have stuff left to unlock in the Sanctuary, although I do feel that the Sanctuary is considerably more difficult. Let's go for it. We gotta get good at all of the parts of the game eventually, right? We can't just be like, ah, that part's hard. I'm not gonna learn it. Okay, so this guy, I believe we have enough cells to push this up to 10%. Oh, yeah, that's true. It's not 500. There's still distance to go there. Well, I guess we'll give you the other 6 cells I have here, too. No, we're good on mutations. We have quite a bit of money but I'm still not confident that we have any items that we're going to hold on to. So I'm going to keep on rolling here. Okay, Slumbering Sanctuary. I'm going to do my best not to get killed by massive golems. That's really the only dangerous part of this place, is the golems. But man, they really are dangerous. Also, I think the golems make this one of the worst areas to take a curse in. Because if you anger one of those things, you're gonna be hearing about it. There's no escape from that. I guess those oh. Okay, well, I was panicked, but it worked. In fact, it works so well, we're gonna do it again. That's pretty fun. These guys are still dangerous, though, in conjunction with the other enemies, especially the hook guys. I was hoping that we could get him to do the dive so that I could roll behind him and shove him off the cliff. Apparently that's my thing now. Okay, this is not a bad elite to have pulled, especially since we can bounce the projectile with a good parry. Come on, where's my grenades? There we go. Okay, obviously this is a big upgrade for us. Shame it doesn't have any more damage reduction on it, though. I know, guys. I want the cells, too. Don't worry. We'll get them. Also, I really like the aesthetic of this place. Like the orange and blue. I think it's really cool. Okay, so a baguette, a croissant, and a flask recharge available. We're definitely not getting that flask recharge, but that other stuff is totally possible. Let's remember that that is there. Alright, so I think we only did this place once before. But I think the gimmick is probably pretty obvious at this point. It's just a lot of parts of the level are closed off until we hit the big switch. I guess those dudes can be kind of dangerous. Having a shield against them is actually really nice. I'm not sure if he can hit us. No, okay. Unfortunately for him, his projectile is on the ground. But I think it's really valuable to make sure you wipe out every enemy in this area, so that after you get the switch out, after you pull the switch, you don't get totally overwhelmed trying to run back through. I do still think it's possible for this run to work out, by the way. I just have to play a lot better for the second half. All the sap throwing through these stones. I have to collect as much as possible and find a solution. Passed by it dozens of times, but I've never wondered what the viscous liquid in the walls was. It's pretty, but it sort of stinks. Do I have a nose? Do I have some kind of olfactory sensor? I wouldn't have expected so. Okay, nothing over here. Because I kind of don't have my entire head, right? We're still pretty much looking for a melee weapon. I do like a good rapier. I think the rapier is a lot of fun to use. Rolling behind stuff and getting a couple of free crits off. But I don't think this is a good situation for it. There we go. This is what I wanted. I want to stand up here. Just a little bit too high for that guy to catch me with his chain. Also, that is super fun. I had not been counting that as one of the strengths of the the force shield, or rather the assault shield, but that is super good. Oh, he teleported out of the poison cloud. Oh, still got him. Man, this game is just so much fun to play. Like, on a moment-to-moment basis. That experience... I think that experience is really important. And a lot of games struggle to get that right. Just the ideas in a game can be fun. A game can be fun for strategic and tactical reasons. And obviously, I am not undervaluing that. I think that's really important. I play a lot of games like that here on the channel. But man, it is so good when a game gets the other thing right as well. I mean, obviously, if your game can do both, you got something really special going there. That's a rare thing. You know what I think is one of the games that does that actually the best, that has like really, really great strategic level play, but also incredibly good moment-to-moment play, is Rocket League, actually. Rainbow Six Siege as well. I would love to do some Siege stuff on the channel, but I also don't really like playing games with strangers very much, and so my friends would have to actually want to play some Siege. Okay, almost died there. That was very bad. So we can go up here and get some cells, right? Yeah. 5 whole cells. Yeah, like the color scheme of this place when it's all in red and orange mode is so good. Okay, let's skip past this for now, but remember that there is food there. We definitely want to try to leave this place at max health. Okay, every one of those big golems is, like, absolutely terrifying to me. That's good. That feels good when you... Every single time you get to do that. I tried to shield in the middle of the down drop, but it... Yeah, you can't do that. You can't break the down stomp. Wow, I'm surprised that dude... That was a lot of stomping. I'm surprised he survived that. That was a huge degree of stomp. Okay, so we found the exit already. Ow, I forgot about that attack. And then I was stunned by it, so I couldn't react to the other thing. Let's teleport back and go buy food. How much more exploration do we want to do here? I am absolutely comfortable spending this money. Well, apparently there's a whole area down into the left of the shop that I just didn't do. Honestly, we'd probably be faster going there from here. Alright, let's keep going. There's still scrolls to find, right? Like, we're gonna have to fight quite a bit here. Hopefully not too many of the golem guys. So they only start that that pulling you in thing if they become aware of you. You have to, like, get on the same level with them. So we can probably just ignore him for now. If we start hitting him, though, I believe it will wake him up. So we probably can just avoid him altogether. Yeah, actually, we don't need to fight him. I'm gonna skip every one of those that I can. Those guys are just too dangerous. We could do some rerolls or something, but honestly, we still have a lot of things to spend money on. Stupid training dummies, ruining everything. Was not expecting the worms to serve as a distraction there as much as they did. Okay, so can we get to where we're going without interacting with this golem? Yeah, looks like we just dropped straight past. Okay. What is over here? Oh. Oh, you know what? I think we got this and then didn't come back here again. Aha! I knew it, I knew it. There were spikes around the top part of the pit. I knew it was going to be bad. Ah, boy. Okay, what else is going on in here? I don't really want to fight that guy if I don't have to. That's pretty fun. All that for a curse, huh? Well, I think we're going to skip this. So to be fair, that the big golem guys seem to not actually be that dangerous if you just parry their punch. But that's terrifying. Man, this is a good song. I apparently have not done this place often enough. Wait. Come on. There we go. Some of that delicious wall bread. Okay. There we go. I was a little worried that that parry was not going to work because of the fact that I had other stuff going on around me at the time. Got kind of distracted, but everything's fine. Also, that enemy just it seemed like he just walked off the ledge himself, and apparently the training dummy shield does not protect you from fall damage. Ah, shoot. That was a bad... Well, okay. Actually, maybe we're alright. I was not ready for... Ooh, hey, blueprint. I was not ready for him to do the ground pound. I was sitting there... I was preparing my parry button there for when he did the other thing. It's a dumb way to get hit. Come on, show me something really great. Twin daggers. Boy, those will do a lot of damage, huh? I really just want another alchemic carbine, but maybe we should take this. It's a lot of damage. The question then is, do the daggers replace the carbine or do they replace the shield? Because the carbine's still doing really good damage despite the fact that it's a very low quality version of itself. If we could find one of these at this level, it'd be so good. Or maybe I just want to roll with... No, you know what? Let's replace the shield. Hold on, let's swap those. Alright, it's been a good run, shield. Okay, so do we want to do Sepulcher or Clock Tower? Did I get everything? It looks like... Yeah, it looks like I was pretty thorough. Huh. I think the Sepulcher's a lot easier to do. That said, there are enemies in the Clock Tower who totally might have... Yeah, let's go Clock Tower. We haven't done the Clock Tower as much as we've done the Sepulcher, so... Sepulcher, maybe? Also, Carbine is probably not... is maybe not correct. I want to look these things up. I want to know what's right, but I keep forgetting to look them up between runs. Okay, so let's definitely finish the Toxic Cloud. And then I guess the question is, do we save 85 cells, like just try to bank cells across the next 2 areas in hopes of being able to really put a lot into the forge after the next boss. And I think the answer is yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Okay, at this point we should probably start doing a little bit of reforging. These things are fairly likely to stick around, right? These are high level, they're good items. The fire grenade also... Actually, the fire grenade I think is really likely to stick around, so let's buy up that. Point of red, shoots a volley of arrows, 20% damage reduction, and then we'll save up from there. Do I want to heal before we get into any actual danger here? We would still have one flask charge left, but I think we're... Ooh, high-level cluster grenade. There's some version of this, right, where I get... I find some food, though. I would really love to not have to heal, and I think healing now is pretty dangerous for us as far as actually getting through the game as a whole, so maybe let's hold on a second. Ow. Yeah, these daggers are pretty good. The damage is alright. It's hard to hit the whole combo. Do I have to actually shoot the bell? There we go. These guys will just sit there and die. Which I really appreciate. That's one of my favorite things about them as people. On food. Yes. Alright. Let's go all the way up each tower. I do want to unlock the teleporter, but let's actually climb all the way up on each one of these. I think that's a little bit more efficient of a way to explore. I'll be honest with you, there's a part of me, and it's not a small part. Why is there a secret entrance here that just goes up to the next level? It's weird. It is not a small part that wishes I had just kept the shield. Because I am feeling the lack of ability to like shove enemies off ledges and jump around in silly ways. I feel like we're not getting as much red as I would like. Tried to do that in such a way, yeah, okay, good, that it would hit this guy as well. In case you were wondering why the jump. Those guys are a little too dangerous for me to want to, get on the same level as. Anytime I can skip fighting fair, I will do so gladly. Sadism is starting to become a really huge amount of bonus damage. Well, hold on. This is probably a teleporter over here. Yeah, let's make sure that turns on. Well, the central tower is quite tall. It's pretty alright. I wish there was maybe more of a visual indication on the bells for the puzzle, because I really can't... They're not very loud, and I'm not finding it easy to work out like which one is going to... I walked back into that. Not finding it easy to tell which one's the high-pitched ones. And probably part of it is that I can't hear them like next to each other. It takes quite a while to travel between them. Okay, what do you have? I guess I'm in the market for grenades, if anything, but probably not actually anything. Although we could go for a pair of fire grenades, get really significant damage reduction that way, and still pretty good damage. And this one does shoot a volley of arrows. The cluster grenade does so much more damage, though. It really, really is a lot. And there's something to be said for damage that happens immediately. Did I... Oh, I didn't go down, right, from the initial teleport point. Alright, we gotta be really careful in the clock tower about doing those fast stomp attacks, because there is actually spikes, like, everywhere. Ooh. Well, now that's interesting. A red scaling throwing knife. Is this maybe the thing that replaces the alchemy pistol? It launches a grenade, which is pretty good. It spreads its bleed to other nearby enemies. I don't so much love the plus 50% damage thing, because I think it only works on the initial contact damage. But this is not a bad weapon. Yeah, alright. You did some fine work for us there, Pistol. So basically, legendary items seem to be a little bit worse than S-quality items. So it's no longer the case, now that we have access to double plus stuff. It's no longer the case that we're going to necessarily be completely dominated by legendaries, because we are sometimes going to be able to find stuff that is even better. Although it's going to be rare. Oh, he actually had died already. That was a gutsy time to climb up there. I probably could have waited a second and made that a lot safer. No, I missed the cluster bomb. Okay, I mean, we're still getting stuff done. That's a lot of cells for free. Okay, I mean, our boss damage is probably going to be really good. Because the twin daggers do great damage anyway, and then with the sadism bonus, which will always be rolling, it's going to be pretty significant. Okay, an ice grenade. Do we want to replace our cluster grenade with CC instead of just more damage? Because this also has a considerable amount of damage reduction on it, and we can throw it really quickly. And it has victims freeze other enemies. You know what? The cluster grenade is doing 2,400 damage per throw. This is a tenth of that. But it does give us a freeze. Oh man, and the cluster bomb does plus 30% damage to bleeding targets. No. I'm going to stick with the damage output. Trying to kill things before they kill us. This is a... You have a whole philosophy going here. Okay. We've got the way out. We don't need to stick around anymore. We know how to leave, and we have the key that lets us leave. But there's also still exploration to do. There's still a chance that we could get health. And these enemies are not so dangerous. Like, it's not like I'm likely to get killed. Also, every enemy that we fight does have a chance of dropping a healing item as well. I really thought I was far enough away there. Alright, we'd better drink. It's unfortunate, but I think we have to. Still, it would be really cool to find a double plus melee weapon. And I like the twin daggers fine, but... Alright, what about over here? Okay. Well, I showed that pot in the corner who's boss. I think we have a really good build here. It'd be even better if I would stop taking damage. Ah! Okay. Well, I'm pretty sure we did not hit those in the right order to solve the puzzle. It's a shame. Those, the shield that is locked behind the bell puzzle is actually very good as well. You know, let's finish this little side area. There's still some enemies around here. We could stand to get some more stuff. Not the safest group of enemies to fight, though. A tiny amount of gold left over there. Yeah, you know what? I might, I was gonna say I might, off camera, get the bell thing figured out, but also still not really sure where we're at with the series as a whole. This is a weird little hallway. All these doors here. I don't think we've ever seen this background before. It's amazing how much stuff there is in this game, just like in terms of art. The amount of game in this game is very impressive to me. I think we've read this before. Yep. There is some gear up here somewhere, though, right? Ooh. Does more normal DPS... Does bonus damage to a bleeding target, although so does that thing. Victims emit a cloud I'm not as excited about, but being able to hit enemies with oil and then... Yeah, we're going to do that. Being able to hit enemies with oil and then put the fire on them is pretty good, I think. Actually, it also does just do a lot of initial impact damage. And it has a really fast two-strike combo. There's a little reset time between them, but those first two attacks come out really, really quickly. I think it's the same combo that the bloody sword has. Look at that, health. All I have to do is actually kill this enemy so I can go get it. Also, it seems like there's just a lot more bells than there used to be. Or maybe the bells in the side areas don't count toward the puzzle. They're for something else. Because there are those two bells that are behind the two-cell door, right? Maybe that's something else entirely. Throwing knives! This guy's smart. He managed to back off a little bit. We are definitely not doing that. I'm feeling really good about our build, honestly. I wish we had more health, but aside from that, this is really good. Alright, let's head up to the finale here. We got a boss, and then a difficult area, and then a boss. We can do this. I think we still have the right mutations. I'm gonna... Maybe it's foolish, but I'm going to carry all these cells with us to the next area. Let's go ahead and forge up the sword. Bonus damage against frozen targets is not nearly as good. Can we maybe... Victims burn, launches a grenade. Try one more. Okay, double damage against burning targets. That is... Actually, that's awesome. That whole set of 3 modifiers is really great. What are your modifiers? Yeah, okay. I'm actually really happy with the way our gear has worked out. So we have 2 flask charges for the rest of the dungeon. Let's try to get through this fight without needing both of them, huh? This is going to be a fun jumping and rolling around version of this fight, too. Want to get the bleed on, get the oil going. That was a little bit short. Ow, ow. Right, I'm standing inside of you when you do your thing. That's not a good idea. And the damage is pretty fast. I'm getting hit way too much, though. It's nice to be able to throw the throwing daggers and stuff without having to stop, though. Ow, Jesus. Okay, we got him. Didn't have to use both of my flask charges, but I'm still not super happy with the way that went. Okay. No, not that. This. There we go. The wrong button. So we're probably, I think, pretty likely going to just replace our... Actually, these are the same level of daggers. These are still 5s. Although these ones do double damage to burning targets. You know, these are better in a lot of ways. They do not throw a grenade, but I think we're going to take these. Oh, you know what, though? The double damage to the burning target is almost certainly just the impact damage, right? Which is not really 365 DPS. So maybe the grenade is better? No, this has the biting worms thing. I like the worm thing a lot. Okay. This is winnable. I think this is winnable. We just have to get through High Peak Castle without taking a bunch of stupid damage. And we get to put 184 cells into the forge, so... Did it. 10% of the items found will be of plus quality. We definitely do not have enough cells to upgrade that anymore, so let's go in here. Oh, you know what? We didn't talk to the collector between the last thing and here, so we could have dropped a blueprint, right? I think you actually have to talk to the collector for the blueprints to go in. I don't know what Wings of the Crow actually does. Let's go ahead and unlock that. That seems... lets you float in the air and inflict damage on enemies below you. Seems cool. And... what else? What else? What is Tough Nut? Reduces damage inflicted by traps by 80%. You know what? That shouldn't be a thing we will ever take, but I might. That might be a thing I take for parts of the dungeon. Because, man, I'm good at getting hit by traps. There's still other stuff to unlock. Let's keep unlocking gear. I've never seen the boomerang, I don't think. Let's try the boomerang. So you throw it out. You wanna miss enemies with it on the way out, unless it goes through them, and then hit them with it on the way back, which is an interesting idea. So what exactly does this do? Oh, that's cool. Yeah, you can still attack and stuff. Yeah, that's a neat idea. Obviously, we won't be using it here, but it's a neat idea. Alright, we don't have enough money to do any reforging, really. So let's head into High Peak Castle, try to make ourselves some cash, and also get out of here in one piece. This is winnable, but I do think it's going to be hard. I'd feel a lot more comfortable with 1 or 2 more flask charges, you know? Oh, that sucks. The guy's attacking me from off-screen. This is a good sword, though. The freezing enemies when you kill other enemies nearby thing is really cool. Also, that guy doesn't seem to notice that he's being chewed on. It's a little strange. Also, I just looked at the minimap and realized there's a shop right at the entrance to the area. Oh, free croissant. Oh. I can't believe my attempt to hide on the wall from the spear combo put me right back in range of that guy's stupid attack. So the spear attack, the spear combo, sometimes they reverse direction for the 3rd hit, which is what I was worried about there. There doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason, like there's no tell as far as I can see. It does suck that we can't set these guys on fire. Okay, we got him. We got him. Ooh. Yeah, a little close. These throwing knives are like pretty alright. They're earning their keep. I mean, if we got a better quality of necklace, it would probably allow us to get another stat point. Or, sorry, we have a 2-stat necklace already. It would probably give us 10% damage reduction. So I would actually really like to fight that guy, but we have to make sure that it's him alone that we are fighting. Do I want a flask? No, I think flasking before the final boss battle is probably suicide. Alright, let's see if we can do this. Yeah, see, there's the turnaround version of it. I would really love to hit him with my sword, but he attacks really fast and he's scary. A blood sword. Blood sword 8. 2000 DPS. Honestly, the bleeding from this isn't even that much. This just kind of seems like a bad weapon relative to our weapon. I guess our weapon is ++. So it actually is a higher level. I think the way it works in terms of numbers is that each plus adds about 2 weapon levels worth of damage, or, you know, whatever it is that the thing does. I guess it's pretty much always damage. So, like, an oiled sword ++ is effectively doing as much damage as an oiled sword 9 would do. I believe that is the case. Man, dude's a survivor. Okay, hold on. I was about to drop down on that side of that guy. We gotta be... Oh, God. We gotta be over here in case he does get a kick off. Do not want to get kicked into that. What is this way? Take that, guy. Ugh. Okay, so in situations like this where it's safe to kill an enemy, we pretty much always need to kill him. Because every enemy could drop food, right? And also, we do still need... there's still quite a bit of money. We could still use a lot of money. We're far from our optimal spending level here. Okay, we killed that guy. I'm just gonna head this way real quick, because I'm nervous. Okay, we found the exit early. That's nice. Is having a shield. It seems like that guy's immune to the contact damage of weapons once he starts spinning, but any damage over time effects that are on him continue to tick. Man, there's a lot of stuff on this in this area. Oh boy. Alright, I'm kind of getting sidetracked. I should probably just go back to that. We saw another one of the doors, which means we basically can just leave. We know where a second key is, and we know where the door is. I would swear to you that I had pressed the attack button. I can't actually hit that guy. You know, I don't need the gold from that from that feather that badly. It's probably only a couple hundred. We just need health so badly. We have to find some health. At least we have to give We have to take every chance here of getting health. Ah! Hate. Hate, hate, hate. There's that thing. It has the same icon as the perk that lets you heal from reducing your curse. Just it's colored slightly differently. So I'm curious if it has anything to do with that. And I hate these long-range sniper dudes. Wow, I just assumed that he wasn't going to be able to actually get his spear through there. Man, that run was going really well. Also, I know the thing he's doing doesn't actually look like a spear, but, you know, I played a lot of Mortal Kombat as a kid. Okay, well, that's disappointing. Yeah, that's a real disappointing one. Just a little preview of the next episode's weapons. Honestly, that's a pretty good selection of weapons there. Unless I do decide to go and do a run, which I may. I may go and get the shield that is unlocked in the clock tower. All right, here's the deal. I know we're all still in suspense. SB, is there going to be another episode? Are you ever going to actually end the series? You keep saying you're going to do it, and now I don't trust you anymore. Yeah, that's my bad. Listen, I still don't know exactly what's up, but I do know that there's going to be another episode tomorrow. So thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time to see that. I don't know, we're just cycling through the colors. Maybe it'll be a green one. Who knows? And we'll see you then.